Hello, good evening. How's it going? Happy Friday to you. I hope you're well. I'm just going to make sure that the sound is good while I'm thinking about it because sometimes I say, let me just say hello, introduce myself, and check thing,
How's it going? Happy Friday
the
to you.
thing later. And then, by the time I realize, being minutes inside the topic and the sound is not good or the connection, whatever, and that's not really the best, right? And in fact, every time I check, because when tuning into StreamYard, by the way, if you use it, that might be of interest for you to know that if you use StreamYard on your personal profile, make sure that you actually go on your phone and check, because especially if you want to be public, which if you're on business, you obviously want to be public to be out there for people to be putting their eyeballs on your business, on you, etc. Anyway, so just go into the three dots, into the oops, sorry, there we go, it's reversed. So onto the three dots right here, and then click on edit privacy and change it to public, because otherwise you won't see it. Okay, so anyway, that's just a quick little tip while we are here. But how's it going? Happy Friday to you. I hope you're well, that you had an amazing one. It's been quite exciting here. A lot has happened. You know that last weekend I was in a social media attraction marketing workshop for 3 days, which is the third time I've attended it, and I got some amazing results in there. Like it was incredible. In fact, for the flip coin of it was that during the workshop, everyone gets leads, right? For the business, no one gets out without leads. In fact, there were 2,805 leads collectively that have been collected by people, right, for their business, to offer their opportunity, their products, their solutions, whatever it may be, and whatever business they may be in. Now, during the workshop, actually, and remember, it's the third time I went there, that I've invested into myself. And during the workshop, I had 3 leads, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that wasn't my main intention. I had other things that I wanted to get out of this workshop, but I did post into some groups where my audience is hanging out, and wait for it, because they needed to be approved by the admins and stuff. They've been admin later on, and since they've been admin approved, I'm about at 110, or I don't know how many now. They're just keeping on coming, 110 plus leads from just a post that I've made in 3 different groups where my audience is hanging out, right? So it does work. Anyway, and you might as well just see the background, which is different to the usual. That's because we are looking after this dog for a couple of weeks, and we will be in this house, which you might see a little bit of a glimpse of the room I'm in right now in my story, and then I'll show you the rest of beautiful house again. And during that 2 weeks, we'll also look after the puppy we looked after like a few weeks ago. So we'll have 2 dogs at once that we are looking after in 2 different houses. Fun. Anyway, so invest into yourself before anyone else does. A huge thing that I've learned the hard way myself, and I got some notes here because I wanted to make sure that I'm sharing some good stuff. And investing into yourself comes in many different ways. It can come in the way of personal. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be, and we will talk about it. Yet it is also other things that are that you have to considerate. So first of all, personal development. You know that I'm huge on personal development each and every single day. Podcast to develop myself. I'm training myself. I'm making sure that I'm reading a book or listening to something that is going to take me to the next level. That I'm going to learn something. And now, yes, some of the things that I'm listening on a daily basis are repetition that I've heard many times over the years, but repetition is key. I had some people telling me, oh yeah, I've heard that before. And it's like, yes, but what is life about? Life is about repetition. When you have a baby and the baby is doing poo poo and stuff, you've got to change the nappies over and over again, each and every single day, several times a day. Repetition. You're not going to say, oh, do you know what? This is boring. I've done it before. I don't want to change the nappy of that baby. I'll leave it in that poop. right? Like, this is not how it works. Every day you brush your teeth, every day you eat food, every day you take a shower. So repetition is key in everything, even in business. When you've got a job, which I don't anymore for years, but in a job you do things repetitively, right? Repetitively. And same in your business, just that you find the fun of what you like doing and then you outsource the rest. Personal development is like putting water on a plant. And what doesn't grow dies, my friends. So if you don't grow yourself, if you don't grow your mind, you're going to be stagnant. You're not going to have new aha moments. You're not going, things that have been, that you've heard many years ago, that happened to me many times. And let me know if it happened to you. Uh, you somehow, sometimes, you hear it like years later and you're like, oh wow, oh my god, because you've grown, you are a different person, you had a different level in your life, you've had many experiences in between, and that one thing, with whatever it may be, becomes so relevant and you're ready to receive the information. Does that make sense? Do you see what I mean? So personal development is one way to invest into yourself, and nobody's gonna do it for you. Nobody's gonna do it for you. People will bring you the information, and even in personal development, if you don't do it, if you're not actively growing yourself, then the teachers won't come to you, right? They won't say, hey, do it, do that, do this, do that. Like, I try to give a personal development type of books, The Magic by Rhonda Byrne, who's the same author as the Secret that you might have heard, most popular of the books that she did, to my mom, and she wasn't ready. Even to another friend, like many years ago, wasn't ready. But then years later, that same friend said, oh my God, those things I told you that were like woo woo and blah blah blah, I wasn't connecting with, and it was too much. I love it now. And since I've applied it, I'm attracting a lot. Well, that's more like law of attraction, but still personal development. Now, morning routine is another thing that um, is a way of investing into yourself, which nobody else can do for you. Do you have what type of morning routine do you have? Because we all have a morning routine. What is it is a healthy one or unhealthy one? Do you rush off the door without breakfast, completely agitated and stressed out already to right at the beginning of your day? Or are you the kind of person that wakes up, meditates first, does gratitude journaling, personal development, listening to a wake-up call, maybe a podcast, does have a breakfast, maybe some exercises as well? What type of morning routine do you have? And that, my friend, it's huge, 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 huge. I cannot stress enough, and I know it might sound so silly, so easy, yet I've done that for many years, and the more I've done it, the more I cannot live without it, because it makes me be aligned with myself and actually prepare myself for the day ahead. I even, envision the day that I want to unfold in front of me. Does it unfold exactly the same? No, not necessarily. Yet I'm kind of ready, and I do all those things that makes me feel good. I'm tuning into some goals of mine that I want to achieve. Like, I'm visualizing what it is that I want to create. So I'm in there. Even when I do my exercises, like at the moment, you might have seen me talk about it very briefly, and I'll share some before and after when the time comes in about 4 weeks or so, about the fact that I am training myself to do the split, the front and side split. Yes, you've heard me well. To stretch and to help have a better flexibility in my body, etc. And my hips are actually already changing and being more open. Now, what was I gonna say? So each and every single morning when I do those exercises, now I close my eyes and I see myself in the gym, the home gym that I want to create in our ideal home, right? That we are wanting to create with my partner. So Mark says, I have no routine, brother. My morning literally depends on how I feel when I wake up. That's exactly how I used to function. That's exactly how I used to function. But you know what, my friend? The thing is, your subconscious is so powerful. And actually, when we wake up, it is the subconscious that is running on autopilot. And most of the time also, if we had a bad day or bad evening the night before, we go to bed with all those things in our mind, or maybe a movie of some sort, or whatever it may be. You had a bad conversations, then in the morning you wake up and you still have that, because your subconscious has been working in what you've last exposed yourself to, if that makes sense. Hence, I tend to do meditation before going to bed. I tend to read a few pages of a good book before going to bed, so that my mind is disconnecting from whatever else I have been exposed to, whatever it may be, and then I just kind of reset. Does that make sense? Do you hear what I'm saying here? And in the morning, you know, actually, when you have a certain morning routine that you are disciplined to go through, and it can take, some time to put it into place, that makes you being in charge of your day. You start with the power of decision. You start with the power of control of what it is that you want to do and achieve and do from the get-go. So, but as far as routine, I don't have one at all. Any advice? So, So, what sort of advice? Like, let me know what sort of advice you'd like, and but does that help already what I've shared with you here? Now, so morning routine is huge. Evening routine is kind of similar, not as in depth, but like as I said, in the evening I do meditation because it helps me to unwind, calm down, go to bed quite nicely, and still go in a little bit of a visualization of whatever I want to create. Now, let's talk a little bit of investing into yourself when you want to make a change in your life, such as, for example, leaving a job that you don't like, changing jobs, or even going from being an employee to a self-employed, an entrepreneur, which has been my journey. And first and foremost, you've got to keep training yourself. When you're in business, when you're an entrepreneur, let me know, are you an entrepreneur, self-employed, freelancer, or are you working for a company? Where are you at on that level? Hey, Carolina, nice to see you. And by the way, nice to see you as well, Mark. Sorry, I just jumped into your question in your comment. Thanks for sharing and for participating. So whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to keep training to grow your business if you're in business. But whatever else you're doing, you've got to keep on growing you've got to keep training to grow your mind. And if you are not wanting to train in whatever you're doing, whether it's a job or a business, maybe it's a time to reflect and to wonder, do you truly love what you do? Hey, Kay, nice to see you, buddy. So do you truly love what you do? If you're not wanting to grow within that field, do you truly love tuning into the content of what is it that you do on a day-to-day basis? So keep training to grow, because there's no other ways. There's no like, I've got a business and I'm plugging along, and today I'm in and I'm off for 3 weeks. That's not how it works. This is a hobby, and hobby costs money. Let me tell you, because my business hobby cost me money for the first 4.5 years of my entrepreneurship journey back in 2012. More money I spent than I actually made. There's other aspects that made me create that, but that's one of them, which is inconsistency and not being completely committed to do the day-to-day income producing activity. So now when I say also keep on training, there are a lot of free stuff out there. There's some awesome people like Kay that just commenting, that commented in the comment section, is an awesome coach. He has a lot of value to provide the world. There's a lot of people that are creating a lot and give a lot to their community for free. I do also tune into stuff for free on YouTube, on Facebook. Now, the thing is, with free stuff, it's okay, but do not only tune into free stuff, because free stuff can only take you so far in your journey. And I was talking about this with one new client and affiliate of mine that literally signed up today earlier on, and we were talking about this. She's been following me for a while, so consistency. She's been seeing me, and she's not ready to invest because she realizes that if she doesn't invest in her business, then her business is not going to take off. You've got to invest at some point. Free stuff is only going to take you so far. And I'll tell you what it is as well. There's another thing which is fascinating to me. And maybe you can tell me if you relate to that. But does that make sense what I've been sharing with you so far? Do you have any questions? So what helps you implement a routine and stick to it? Okay, cool, Mark. So for this, it's practice. Like meditation, for example, I've been on and off at the beginning when I did it years ago, and then the more I train myself to do things. But I'll tell you, to create a routine, I'll give you a tip actually, if you're still here, even if you're not, and if you want to revisit the replay, and if you want to replay, #replay, by the way, a little tip to implement a new habit of whatever sort, and maybe a goal that you want to create as well. Okay, either a habit or a goal. I talked about this recently, and I might have them. I'm in this house. I'm house sitting and dog sitting, so it's all in my bag. But basically, and that's where you can take a pen and paper. Yeah. Take some blue cue cards. Those cue cards that you get for schools when you're revising and you want to make some notes on it. Note cards, I think, or cue cards, whatever. Blue cue cards, blue, and then a blue pen as well. Well, this one is red there, but it's a blue ink. So blue ink pen, and at the front of your blue cue card, write the goal or the new habit in the present tense that you want to achieve. So for example, I am implementing a healthy morning routine. Okay, in your example, I am implementing a healthy, or I choose to implement a new morning routine, healthy morning routine, daily morning routine. And at the back of it, you're going to write 2 to 5 commitments that you have towards that new habit or goal. So it starts like this. I am committed to blank. I am committed to meditate every morning. I am committed to read a few pages of a good book every morning. I am committed to exercise every morning. I am committed, and bear with me, there's one step after that, which is the most important one. I am committed to have a great healthy breakfast. Whatever it is that you want to implement in your new morning routine, in your example, Mark, I am committed to blank, or I choose to blank. Either or, I choose or I am committed to blank. And what you do with those blue cue cards, now that you've got your goal or your habits in the present tense at the front and your commitments or your choices at the back, 2 to 5 of them, each and every single morning, first thing when you wake up, so put them on your table side, on your side table, or the first place where you see when you wake up, and you read them back and forth. Last thing at night, when you go to bed, before retiring your head on the pillow, same, read them back and forth. So that's going to give you a reminder. Now, what is that going to make you do? So put them on your pillow even when you finish sleeping. So then at night, you cannot forget them. You're not going to put your hand on it, right? The ink's going to go on your face. Well, it will be dry by then, but you know what I mean. So what that does is that psychologically wise, the blue color, blue ink and blue cue card are psychologically having an effect psychologically to have the creative mode look for solutions to make that happen, that new habit or that new goal. And also it's a reminder, because the more you see it, subliminal messages kind of thing, right? The more you see it, the more reminders you're going to actually interject into your subconscious. So if you at any given morning or evening read those cards for habits or new goals that you want to achieve, you haven't done one of those commitments at the back, it's the time to not procrastinate. We don't say, oh, that's fine, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll start over. No. That is the point, because otherwise you're like in the procrastinating mode, and that is not going to serve you. Yeah, does that make sense? Are you ready to implement that, to try it out at least? Like, that's a very basic, simple thing. I can tell you, all my coaching clients, they love it. They love it, and really helps them to implement all that they want. And I've got a pile of new blue cue cards that I'm going to create new goals like tonight or tomorrow or at some point soon. So I hope that helps, Mark. And so The next point, yes. So in terms of keeping on training yourself, um, the free stuff, as I said, only gets you so far, and it's going to expand you to, it's not going to expand you to your full capacity. And here is the funny thing. Are you ready for that? And if you have any questions, let me know. I've noticed that when, probably Kay is going to relate to this, but when I've been stretched to invest into something, a course, a program, a seminar, a coaching program, something quite like significant that is really expanding my comfort zone, you can believe that each and every single time, somehow I was like, oh, don't know if I can, but I will. Oh, I will. And then I had new sales. Like recently, I enrolled into an 8 weeks group coaching program that just finished this week. And I was like, oh, I don't know, because I was saving for my one-on-one coaching program with an 8-figure earners that I'm now enrolled into, and that's the continuity of the story. And I was like, oh, shall I invest in that one? I knew it was going to be good. It wasn't a matter of like, is it going to be good quality and am I going to get value? I'm sure of that because I know where I'm putting my money. I've got the right community. I've got the right group. I've got the right resources. And so this is why I'm also recommending that to people who love growing and growing their business and knowing how to put themselves out there as an authority figure. And I invested in that program. On the same day, I had 2 or 3 sales. 2 new coaching clients, high-end tickets of 2 coaching clients that basically was twice the price. Oh no, it was 3 because I remember making the post into the community group. So I had 3 new clients, which were basically the cost of 3 times the price that I've paid for the group coaching program that I've entered myself. The universe works in wonders, in wonderful ways. So when you invest into yourself, then the universe is going to reward you for this and bring you more of it. Instead of keeping tight, holding tight to the money, and basically sending some signals to the universe, oh no, that's all I have. I don't want to let go. That's all I have. The universe is going to say, okay, that's fine. You've got it. I don't need to bring you more. It's fine. So stay with what you've got. But you see, I've invested that, and 3 times the money came back to me. And same again when I invested in this one-on-one coaching program just a few days ago after this workshop that I've done, this 3-day workshop. And that's high-end type of coaching program, right? It costs, it's a good ticket. It's a good ticket. But I know I'm choosing to have this because I want to take my business and my clients to the next level as well with what I'm going to be growing through within this program. And so therefore, I have invested and boom, I've got some new sales that came, believe it or not. Today, even today, on top of that, a new affiliate, literally we had a discovery session booked for 3:30. I checked my emails before the discovery session. She already signed up. And if you're here, well done, congratulations, you know who you are. She signed up even before we jump onto a discovery session. Didn't have to convince her whatsoever because of the consistency of my work being online and showing the value, pouring value on my audience and showing them what is it that they can get and how they can grow. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. I get it. I want it. She went and signed up. And now I just set it up. I just set her up. Oh God. I just said, make her set up the system to be successful and get the ball rolling for her to have, even like I had over the workshop, more than 100 of leads in my business. Do you want leads for your business? Do you want your business to grow? Are you ready to invest? Are you ready to give value to other people, for them to see you as a leader, to see you as someone they can trust, and they want to put their money into you because they know they're going to put it in the right place and get value out of it? If you are, then you've got to make the move. So anyway, what else? I put some notes here. Does that make sense? Do you get value, guys? I want to see what. So, do you ever get distracted or end up? Of course. Yeah. I mean, Mark. Look, it is life is life, right? And I'm still a human. I still have blood in my veins. I still have my moods. I still have my brain, and I'm no different to you than you, right? It's just that I'm growing myself on a regular basis. But now, what it does is because I'm growing, because I'm creating that surrounding within my environment, my business, my system, my everything, then the the more I grow, the better I can tackle the distractions, and the less, of course, I'm going to be, because I'm more conscious of what my subconscious is actually wanting to do. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, it's the subconscious, the chimp, right? We've got this kind of chimp little monkey that wants to, this little voice that tells us, ah, yeah, wait until tomorrow. Oh, no worries. Oh, yeah, like, don't pay attention to this. Oh, don't do this. Oh, you're fine. Just eat that food, right? I know you are wanting to get a better fitness, a better healthy diet, but that's fine. Like, get all that food, right? You're fine. Oh, and tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow is another. Oh, and next week, start again over next week. Oh, next month. You know what? We have the month off, and by the time you know it, you fell off the wagon. So whereas when you work on your subconscious and you work on your personal development, like I've mentioned at the beginning, then and surround yourself of a community that supports that helps you, that uplifts you when you are not there, when you are not, at your best, then you've got a community to tune in order to make you elevate yourself. That is also equally important, because no one does anything by themselves alone. No one does anything by themselves alone. There's always someone else that helps you either uplift you or drains you down, right? Or kind of maintains you where you want to be. But if you want to grow and then you've got more people around you that are trying to keep you stagnant, it's going to be hard to actually push through. Whereas if you are surrounding yourself of go-getters, of people that are driven, people that are tuning into personal development, that love growing themselves and inspiring one another, cheering each other's up, that's going to help you better, easier to grow and go to the next level and achieve, manifest, and create all that you want in life. Believe me, your surrounding, your communities are super important to choose who is it that you want to be hanging out with on a regular basis. Yeah. So how can you ask for money and tell others to spend money if you don't do it yourself? How can you be in business if you have a business? And if you have a business, let me know, what type of business do you have? What is it that you're doing? What is it that you're selling, without necessarily names of companies or what, but like health and wellness? Are you in coaching? Are you in affiliates? Are you what is it that you're doing, selling, offering to the marketplace? If you're in business, aka sales, because anyone in business is basically in sales, and I had to make peace with that word, because I used to not like that word. I used to hate that word. I used to not talk about that word. But sales is a big thing. We're selling ourselves each and every single day, even to our own self. Actually, we battle with ourselves, that little, like, oh, should I do this? Yeah, do this because of that. You're selling yourself. You're selling to yourself, right? So now, if you're in business and you are only going for the free stuff, the free trainings, the free resources, the free, that is going to give you value. It's fine, because again, I tune into free stuff and it's great. It's fine. I get a lot out of it, but you always only get a glimpse from what is on the other side, and you're actually limiting your own potential because of not expanding that comfort zone of investing into yourself financially. So if you're in business and offering a service to other people, how can you, let me ask you, and you don't have to reply, it's a hypothetical question here, but how can you ask for money in exchange of your service or product or opportunity if you, as a first hand, you are not investing into your own self, your own business, and your own trainings and growth, the universe is always watching. I know it might sound woo-woo to some of you, might sound a little bit up there, out there. But trust the process and trust that when you are holding on to things and you're not giving more than you take, then you're going to be stagnant and to get into that motion of repetitive motion. So yes, so if your business is stagnant, then perhaps you need to make a change. And if you need to have something to change in your business, in your life, then the change starts from here. It starts from within. If you want things to change in your life, you've got to change. I'm coming from a background, listen, I'm not here to preach at you. It might sound like it. I'm not here to yell at you. I'm talking to myself as well, because I'm coming from a background. My parents are like poor, middle class, more poor than middle class. They don't even work. My dad has passed away a few years ago, but like my mom still, and they're very young people. Like you might think, oh yeah, they're retired anyway. No, my mom had me at 15. She's 52 right now. Very much on the age where you normally work. My dad would be 54. And so not being working, there's a lot of aspects. That's a whole other story. But I'm not coming from an entrepreneurship type of family. I had to grow. I was like in the equivalent of the Bronx type of areas of Paris. When you say Paris, I used to live in Paris. Now I live in London. It's in nice areas. Yet in Paris, I was like in the equivalent of the Bronx in New York. Well, I don't know how it is now, but at the time it was a bit rough, right? If I know, I've never been there, so don't get me wrong. But if you're in the US, then maybe you can tell me if that's the thing. So, I had to change myself. I had to grow. I had to break the barriers, the limiting beliefs, the things that have been poured into my brain by my parents. The money doesn't grow on trees, and I don't have the money. Who are you to talk about money? Or what we do with the money, whatever. Hence, I was having all those limiting beliefs of that relationship with sales and not asking other people money and me holding tight to things, right? So anyway, invest into yourself before other people are investing into you. And so the last thing I would say, and by the way, I've got this 3-day workshop again that I've attended as a student myself, that is taking place again in September. If you want more info on this, let me know. I'll share with you. It's not free, obviously, but it's really cheap anyway, and you get so much out of. Almost like they keep coming, and I've got over 100 leads that came out of that workshop, right? In my business, in my business right now. So, and the last thing I would say, like, invest into others before they invest into you, and that's a whole other conversation, right? We just talk about investing into yourself before other people invest in you, but how about investing into others before they invest in you? That's a good one. Give for free before receiving some money. Ooh, that's stretching. That's uncomfortable. What would I pay? I need to make money now, man. I need to make money now. I need to pay the bills. Yeah. Give, take. Give, take. Give more than you take. Right? So anyway, so that's what I wanted to say. I hope that was of value. I hope you got some tips. Let me know your biggest takeaway. If you feel that could serve someone, feel free to tag them, to invite them into the Rise and Roll private community of mine. If you want more of this, by the way, and you want to be added to my private group, the Rise and Roll, then just type Rise and Roll in the comment section, or I'll put the link. And feel free to join. There's more of it, and I'm actually going to start making like some changes. Just saying. So yeah, and you make great points. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm pleased that that can serve you, and And yeah, so please, that's what it is all about. I think we need to share what works for us, what doesn't work as well for us, so we can help other people. Hint, hint on the invest into others before they invest into you, basically, right? So lots of love to you. Have an amazing Friday. Brilliant weekend ahead, whatever you're doing. Let me know what is it that you are up to. As I said, I'm going to look after the dog. Where is she, by the way? Well, she's downstairs. You're gonna see a lot about it on my social media. She rolls over, she fitches. Oh, she's like an artist. Anyway, so you have a great time, and this Facebook Live is a wrap. Take care. Bye.